Well, here we are on the 8th of February 2004. New bathroom, all finished. It's become my temporary kitchen with all of the drinky type stuff, and toaster and kettle and sandwich maker on the floor there. There's a clock on the wall there. Auntie Olive gave me that. It's too noisy to go in my bedroom because of the clicking noise it makes. So this was the next best place to put it. The shower curtain, well, the rail has arrived and the curtain is there on the floor, right there. And so I'll get the builder to put that up on the roof here, probably this Monday if we can. The doors have wound up in here. Wasn't really any particular reason for it other than it made sense to move them in here out of the lounge at the time. Can't quite remember exactly what the reason was for it now, but anyway, so moving right along, the leak in the wall there is all repaired, and thankfully all the carpet in here has now dried out. This room is it actually got quite tidy, and then it's become quite messy again just because I've been trying to put these doors back on their hinges after the builder finished painting them, and there's stuff I had to haul out of the cupboard and just stack on the floor here. But it is coming together, and I'll hopefully have all this tidied up good and proper within the next few days. One thing that has happened is that the router is now living in the hall cupboard. There we go. So it's back online, and the servers in here are still connected to the internet via it, rather than having it sitting virtually on top of them. It's in there now. The plan is that this whole cupboard is actually going to be emptied out, and it's going to become my server cupboard. There'll be one machine there, one machine there, and a third machine up the top there, and those will be the 3 online servers, the router, the UPS, and all the other network stuff will all be in there. So it's just sitting there temporarily, just to keep everything running. And it was actually surprisingly quick and painless to have it all connected up. A telecom guy came last week and permanently wired a DSL filter into the phone system inside that block there, which you can sort of kind of see but not really. So the DSL circuit goes directly into there, and the standard phone circuit just goes throughout the rest of the house. The bedroom is now completely finished. This is the one that had all those doors in it. There you go. Curtains, and also kitchen has, as promised, moved in here for the last few months. And all the stuff will be coming out of here later today. It's actually 3 o'clock in the morning when I did this, and I'm doing this right now because I just wanted to get some footage of this room with all of the kitchen stuff in it before we empty it all out tomorrow, because the carpet layers are coming on Monday at midday to put the carpet in here. So obviously we have to get all of this out of here tomorrow. I've got a young guy coming to give me a hand tomorrow for about 4 hours to move all this stuff. The old bathroom is definitely no more. That's what was the old bathroom. It's all finished now as well. Bright new ceiling. Curtains are already up, and I just have to hang them or pull them across the other side and put up the netting as well. The window catches have to go back on now that the frame is all painted, so I'll put them on later this afternoon as well. And there's what the room looks like now. It's all virtually emptied. There's a power socket on the wall in the corner there, because right there basically is going to be an air conditioner, and it will just fit in that space, so that socket is for the air conditioner. There's a few holes in the floor that we had to repair, just where water damage had been done over years. There's one that's actually where the old washing machine and tub used to be, and you can actually see the line on the floor where the old bathroom wall was, and so that was right underneath the old washing machine space. That was directly behind the old toilet, and here is the floor that had to be torn up and replaced from under where the old bath was, and it goes through the same amount, about that much, into the other room as well. So that whole chunk of wall had to come out and get replaced along with the floor. That's the power cord that's running the camera right now, and there above it is the cabling for the LAN, which is plugged into the router, and the switches under the house so that all the computers in the place can talk to each other, so someone can plug into that and get access to the online servers as well as the internet and basically do anything they like. There's also a phone socket there. There's a TV socket, a phone socket, and the LAN cable. And the idea is that whoever rents this room from me can have all that as part of their rental. And there is actually a couple of people who are moving in on Monday. So the carpet layers come at midday, and hopefully they'll be finished by 2. The builder will come over and put the door back on here and here, and the flatmates will turn up mid-afternoon and start giving me a hand moving the furniture that I've got that I'm going to let them use while they're here, and moving their own stuff in, and hopefully they'll be moved in by 5 or 6 on Monday night. So it's pushing it all a bit tight, but I'm confident that it's all going to come together nicely. And the carpet's going down here on Monday as well, and also throughout the whole hall down to there. So it's going to be a busy day on Monday. The lounge is a storage area for all sorts of furniture at the moment. I ended up actually biffing out the old dryer just because in the end I decided I was never going to want to use it again, so I might as well just get rid of it. The kitchen sink is sitting on the sofa there. These are the desks for the 2 people who are moving in on Monday. I actually own these. The plan is with those 2 bedrooms to rent them out to students, preferably foreign students who have got heaps of money and don't mind paying for a good place to live, and therefore it would make sense to me to own the furniture and everything for them so that they don't have the hassle of having to get furniture when they get here and then get rid of it when they leave. So I agreed to buy these as part of the deal of them being here. There's a couple of chairs for them there that they can make up on Monday themselves, and one of these will go into each of the rooms. And since there's nowhere else to store these in the meantime, they've sort of taken over my lounge, basically. The rest of the lounge is also fairly packed as well. Let me just grab that power cord. I've moved the computer as promised, or as alluded to rather. That corner is now empty and the computer now lives on the floor right there. So I have a nice work area and a bit of space behind it, and then the rest is just the lounge. The kitchen cabinetry that hasn't gone in yet is sitting on the floor here as well. All of that mess and stuff that was here is all gone and tidied up. The range hood for the kitchen is there, and there's a couple of mattresses there which are going into those rooms for the students on Monday. There's beds under the house which we need to bring up, and the the waste disposal and hob are sitting there on top of the freezer, and hopefully they'll both go in this week. And that's the oven, which I'll give you a better look at when we get through there into the kitchen, which you won't recognise basically. And there's also Dad's old weather glass thingy there, and the clock beside it that were sitting right there, where little one is sleeping because it's nice and warm, because that's right on top of the amplifier for the stereo. Hello. She's dead to the world. Anyway. So the final bit to show you is the kitchen, which you can see is now green. First things first though, this is all finished. The paper roll hanger is on, and there's a lock on there for the door as well, and that's basically it. It's all complete. So this is the kitchen. Woohoo! Look at that, recessed diffused lighting up there, and nice green walls. That's the fuse board. And all of this is nicely painted there. So we still have to paint this door frame, so this door isn't going on yet, and the cabinets are already here. That's the side of the pantry. The idea with all of this lighting is that the old fluorescent fittings that were in here were buggered basically. All of the gear inside them, the ballasts and the tubes and starters, hang on, I'm getting caught up. All the stuff that was inside them was still perfectly good, but the chassis that they were in were completely stuffed. So I decided I might as well rip them out and get the builder to put in a recessed lighting system in here, and then I can put all the tubes in as I've done, just to recycle them and make good use of them. And I have to say, I am damn impressed with how that looks. I thought it would look really cool and impressive, but it's actually really surprised me at just how good it looks. I've had to buy some short tubes for the corners just to fill it all in, and ballasts and starters and everything for them as well. So there's a couple of 2-foot tubes, one right there, just for that little bit, one there for that little bit, and then there's a full length tube across there, another tube there, another tube there, and a little 2-foot there, and then a full length tube and another 2-foot there, and there's a final 2-foot tube which is going in right here, which you can't see. It's going in right there, but I'm missing a part for that, so that can go in this week. This is the ducting for the range hood, which and the power supply for the range hood, which will be going about there. Let's see, hang on, this cord's getting very annoying. There's a better look at the oven, which will be going into that cavity right there this week sometime. And the dishwasher is going into there. And these are cool cabinets, by the way. I have to say, I'm very impressed how these look. The nice flash handles on them. And the hob's going right there. The builder's going to put in a bench top there, and there'll be the coffee maker will sit right there, the one that's been sitting on top of the fridge in the lounge, and there'll be another shelf up there, and I don't know what I'll put up there, but it's got a power point above that shelf in case I decide to put some sort of power requiring device of some kind in there. There's the fuse board, all fully installed and operational. There you go. And there's a few circuits which aren't in use yet. I can turn that back on right now. There you go, the outside lights have all just come back into life. That's the one I just turned back on, was for all the security lights outside. I turned them off earlier tonight because we're in the middle of a fire ban and it's 2 in the morning, and I wanted to go outside and burn a whole bunch of rubbish. So I decided I might as well turn all the outside lights off so that they don't come on automatically when I'm out there setting fire to things, and it didn't seem smart to attract more attention than I needed to. Anyway, so these 3 circuits that aren't on at the moment, that's the one for the range hood and the waste disposal. It'll also be running the pump when it moves downstairs. That is for the wall sockets in here, that one, and these 2 here above the bench, as well as that one, which will be for the fridge. The fridge is going in that corner, and for these 3 sockets here, which aren't in yet, as well as for the sockets, one there for the dishwasher in there, and that one which is already in, which will be for the microwave or whatever ends up in there above the oven. So that circuit isn't on yet. And then the final one, that one is for the oven, which isn't on yet for obvious reasons. That one there will be for the hob, but at the moment it's on temporarily running the stove in that far room right down the other end. And so it'll be coming off tomorrow when we move everything and I get the cable in here to plug it all in properly later this week. And all my flash labelling as well, which you can't really see on the camera, but anyway, it looks cool. The builder had a number of really good suggestions during all the construction, one of which was to put two-way switches in here so that you can turn the lights on from either end of the room. So that's more or less where the old light switch used to be anyway. Actually, it used to be about there, but it's a bit closer there where it is. And then there's now also light switches for this room right there, so you can get to them from either side. As I said, the fridge will be there, the microwave will be on top of it because the microwave I've got is too big to fit into the microwave cavity there, and I've already got a plan for something else I want to put in there anyway, so it'll work out quite nicely the way I'm going to set the room up. And there'll be a bench top right there, and two sockets above the bench for sandwich makers and the kettle and all the other bits and pieces. There's an aerial socket behind the fridge so that I can chuck a TV on top of the fridge or the microwave if I ever want to. Don't know if I ever will, but it seemed a logical thing to put in just in case. So I did think seriously about putting a phone socket in here as well, but in the end I've decided it's not worth it at this point, and if I do actually want to put one in, it won't be that difficult to do it down there with the TV area or where that is. So who knows, I'll see what happens, but I probably won't bother putting a phone in here. There's also another power point right there which is also on the same circuit as all of these other ones, and that's for the underbench dishwasher, which will be right there. So there'll be double cupboards there, a set of drawers right here next to the fridge, and a dishwasher right there, all underneath the bench top, and the big sink bench and everything, and the waste disposal in there. And hopefully we'll get most of that in this week. We'll see what happens. All I'm concerned about to begin with is that I can get the dishwasher set up in there temporarily and at least have it operational, because otherwise, without a sink or anything here, I'm going to have no way of washing dishes other than in the vanity sink in the bathroom. And since I don't have a plug for that, it'll be a bit challenging. So it'll make life a lot simpler if I can get the dishwasher in there each day and have it fully operational. Even if it's just emptying water under the house temporarily rather than having any drains or anything that it can go into, that'll be better than not having it working at all. I've already realised tonight that it's going to be pretty easy to temporarily plug in a water supply to it to get fresh water into the machine, and I won't worry at all about the water coming out of it just going under the house, because hopefully I'll get all the drains sorted out for this room later this week sometime. That's it. We are done. So I really wish I'd done a bit more videoing, particularly here, because the amount of cabling in that wall going down through here and around there just has to be seen to be believed. It really is a massive cabling, but never mind. It's my own fault for not getting the camera out and doing this sooner.